In Creo Parametric, you can perform structural analysis using Creo Simulate. And often in Creo Simulate, you want to use idealizations and connections in order to model real-world behavior and conditions. Let's take a look at a situation. First off, I will use Applications Simulate to get into Creo Simulate. And in this particular situation, I have this structure that I want to analyze. And up at the top in this opening, there will be a big hatch. And that hatch is strong, it is stiff, and it will prevent that top ring from deforming at one side and not at the other side. So I want to simulate that top ring deforming as a rigid unit. To do that, I can go to the Refine Model tab and create a rigid link. I will click on it. This opens up the Rigid Link dialog box. And first we'll take a look at a simple rigid link. With a simple rigid link, you will select the different geometric entities like points, edges, curves, or surfaces that you want to move together as a single unit. In this situation, I will pick this curved surface, and it selects both halves of the cylinder so that we have both of them listed in here. So this is good. I'm happy with this. I will click the OK button, and there you can see in that pinkish color an indication of our rigid link. I'm going to scroll down in the tree, and here we have our connections from Creo Simulate, and then rigid links, and this is the one that I just created. But I'm going to take this one and suppress it so I can show you how to create an advanced rigid link. And with an advanced rigid link, you're going to define an independent side using a point and then a dependent side with geometry. And you can control which degrees of freedom are affected by this rigid behavior. So the first thing that I need to do is create a point. Let me make sure that my point display is turned on. It is. And so now I will go to the point command, and I will select a reference. So for example, I can select this edge. And right now I'm getting a point on the edge, but I can click on the word on and locate it at the center. And here I have the point. And let's say I want to rename it. I can right click on it and choose rename. And I'm going to call this my rigid point, PNT. So that's good for the name. And I will click the OK button. So now I've got a point. But let's say I want to control the different degrees of freedom. I might need to create a coordinate system. So let's go ahead and do that. I will click on the coordinate system icon, and I will choose to locate it at the point that I just created. And then from the orientation tab, I can decide that, you know what, I want to use this little flat sliver of a surface to define my z direction. Oops, accidentally changed the origin. Let me select that point again. Let me make sure to click in the correct collector. And now I can select that surface. And this is going to define my z direction. And then to define x or y, let me turn on my datum plane display. And I will choose to use this plane. I'll use this plane to be my x direction. So I can then go to the Properties tab and rename this. This will be my rigid coordinate system. And I'll hit the Enter key so it accepts the name. And then click the OK button. Let's reduce the screen clutter. Let me turn my datum plane display back off. Okay, so now I have a point and a coordinate system. So let's go about creating our rigid link. I will click on Rigid Link. And in the dialog box, instead of creating one of the type simple, I will go to Advanced. And by the way, if you have any experience in Nastran or any of the FEA packages that are based on Nastran, like Autodesk Inventor's FEA or NX's SimCenter, then both of those have an element that's like RBE2, and that Nastran RBE2 element is what we have here. So anyhow, we need to select our independent side, and we're going to use that point that we created. And then for our dependent side, what's going to be sort of connected to that point? Well, instead of using points, you can use edges or curves, or in this case, I want to use surfaces. So I will select, again, the cylindrical surface. And then you have the ability to select a coordinate system. By default, it's going to use the world coordinate system, which you can see down here. But again, sometimes you want to use your own custom coordinate system. So I will change to selected and then pick that coordinate system that I made. One thing to be aware of, this coordinate system has to be a Cartesian coordinate system. It cannot be cylindrical or spherical. And so here's where we can control which degrees of freedom are restrained. So the T's in the top row, that's for translation in X, Y, and Z. And then the R's, that's for rotation about X, Y, and Z. And so based on how my hatch is going to be in this part, I decide that I don't want to restrain translation in X or Y. I just want to restrain it in the Z direction. And for the rotations, this is probably going to be solid elements, but just in case it's not, let's see, in this case here, I want to restrain it from rotating in X and Y, but maybe not rotating Z. And so I can choose those different degrees of freedom. When I'm happy with all of this, I can click the OK button, and there you can see an indication on the screen of the rigid link that we have created. Let me turn off my other datum display. And so you can see that little icon in the graphics area a bit more clear. But that's how you can create the advanced form of the rigid link. And so there you have it. That is one of the kinds of connections that you can create in Creo Simulate for performing a structural analysis.